Hello and welcome to the 160th second photography podcast. While watching a YouTube video, I came across something that I thought was really interesting. It was incredibly niche, but nonetheless very interesting. Maybe it would appeal to me, but I thought I'd do a podcast episode on it. So it's the Canon Powershot zoom camera, I suppose, or monocle. It's a really unique product. Now, I recently bought some binoculars and I was very tempted by a monocular or a telescope or whatever you want to call it, and simply I wanted to use that with my drone. So my drone can fly away or I'll go somewhere to fly my drone. I want to be able to see what's about, and binoculars were very useful. So I bought a reasonable pair of binoculars. I didn't spend a lot. I didn't just buy the cheapest ones, but I bought a reasonable pair of binoculars and they were fantastic for what I used them for. So I was really pleased, but I also researched sort of monoculars and very small optical magnification devices to see things far away. In the end, I went with binoculars. But Canon are going to release for around $300, essentially a digital monocular. So you'll put it up to your eye and it zooms, it's got a zoom lens on, it's very light, it will hang around your neck, and it's really aimed for sort of bird watchers, hikers, that sort of thing. So it's not for everyone, and particularly at the price it's at, it's not for everyone. But I thought I'd talk about it because I was sort of tempted by it. I thought, that would be really good and really useful for when I start getting out more, doing more drone flying, watching other people fly their drones, and generally just being outdoors more once the pandemic's over. So it's got an EVF and it defaults to a focal length of 100mm. If you press a button, it goes to 400mm. You can then go to 800mm, but it's digital. It has optical image stabilization, takes 12 megapixel stills in JPEG only, runs off micro SD, and it has an internal battery. So if I just wanted to see what my drone was doing or do some bird watching, I could use that, and I wouldn't have to carry around a big lens with a focal length of 200mm or 400mm. I could just have something that hangs around my neck. Great. Also good if you're on a cruise ship. You can look at the dolphins or look at another boat or whatever. So it's for looking at things that are far away, and maybe you want to take a picture as well. Or maybe you want to do some videoing, because it also does 1080p at 30 frames per second in video. So it has lots of uses. I've talked about bird watching, maybe concerts. I don't know how good it is in low light, but concerts or sports when your kid's playing football or soccer. It has a diopter with the EVF, so if you wear glasses, there's no problem there. And autofocus, it does face tracking, single point autofocus, and continuous tracking. So it looks very good, but I do wonder whether it would be a success. I think it started off as a Kickstarter project, and it's not the first time Canon have done a Kickstarter project. They like to test the water, as do most companies, with a Kickstarter. I haven't seen it on Kickstarter, I haven't gone looking for it, but I would be interested to look at it when it comes out in the UK, if it even comes out in the UK. I think the Kickstarter was for the Japanese customers, and I think it's going to launch in America, but I don't know whether it's going to come to the UK, but certainly I'd be interested. And I do applaud Canon for taking these different routes and maybe doing a few more niche products rather than either a mirrorless camera, a compact camera, a camcorder, or a DSLR or a printer. So I do applaud them for doing these things, and I certainly see a use to this. But it does make me think, what else will Canon bring to market? I know they file lots of patents for things that seem strange, but then all big companies do. Apple do that, and they file patents, but they don't necessarily develop them or use them. But I do wonder what else Canon is going to bring out. Who knows what they're going to bring out, but this certainly caught my eye, and I think everyone will write it off as, what a waste of time. Who needs that? That's not very good. But you could say the same about 360 cameras, smartphone gimbals, etc. I think it certainly has a use, and it's certainly something I could see myself using, so I'd be very interested in looking at it. And hopefully, if it's not a success, the price would be very low and I'd save myself a bit of money. But what else would you like to see Canon bring out? Would you buy this photographic monocular? Do let me know. I'd be very interested to find out. Thank you. Goodbye.